All right, fucker, here's a crash course. Make your pasta, rinse it with cold water so it stops cooking. You can talk, it's Mandy, who cares?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm Mandy.
All right, so I use the induction burner because I'm a bougie bitch. But yeah, one skillet, butter if you want to add. I sliced the garlic this time to have fun with it. But I also use like the minced shaker shit or the stuff in the jar. It's just whatever we got. We use both on this because I like it really garlicky. Got some minced onion too, just because. Basil if you want to. It really is more flexible. Like you can just do whatever the hell you want. If you are gonna use the basil though, wad it up before you cut it. So it really brings all the oil out of it.
To release the oils.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shred it right here because it's all gonna cook down anyway. It's not gonna matter. All right. So start off by putting all the basil leaves off your fucking fingers. Medium heat or a little bit lower. I'm going with like 4 out of 10 right now, just for this beginning part. But you're gonna start it by putting in your butter. I know you're a quantity person. This is just over 4 tablespoons. But more importantly than how much you're putting in is the proportion. Leave me alone, my cholesterol's low, I'm allowed to do that. Alright, so melt it all down. You can either add in your herbs and aromatic shit now or later, because you're gonna be cooking this down a lot, and I'll explain that in a sec as well. My pan just gets more warped. Alright. Nice and liquidy. Act fast on this part. You're gonna make a roux. I don't know if you've done that before. You want equal parts flour to butter. This is just over 4 tables of butter. This is about 5 tables of flour. I'm using all-purpose whole wheat. Literally just use what you have. Alright, now you want to stir the shit out of it as fast as possible. You're almost gonna make a paste. The trick is to cook this flour without like torching it, and that's where the fun challenge comes in here. See, it's soaking up all the butter like immediately. Left with this stuff right here. This is used for thickening, and it'll spread the butter flavor throughout as you do it. I'm using a vegan chicken bouillon cube, and here you can just use regular chicken broth, like with a pouch or whatever. This is about a half liter. Okay, stop fucking recording. This is about a half liter or a pint, but it doesn't particularly matter. You can cut it with water, whatever you have. You just have the can of broth instead. You're just adding this a little bit at a time. Add like a splash or two, and just kind of get it all mixed and incorporated. And you see it's going to start thickening up right away again. It's because that flour is super active and hot. Just going to be adding a splash at a time. It's gonna look kind of chunky at first. A whisk would almost work better for this, but it's gonna be so blobby if you start with that I wouldn't recommend it. This is gonna yield a lot of sauce. Still got some liquidy parts here versus thick stuff. You're just gonna, every time that you get it just about even, you're gonna add some more liquid to it. That's pretty uniform. As it starts cooking in, give it another hit. At some point it's going to look like you've entirely screwed it up and you can't thicken it up anymore. You still can. You can always cook anything down. You can always reduce whatever you need to. If you're doing this with chicken like you tend to do, cook your chicken breast first. Basic salt and pepper is fine. Make sure you hammer it nice and thin. Get rid of any fat or sinewy bits. If you want to add in like oregano or basil or marjoram if you use it for your Italian seasoning, add it to the chicken, not to the sauce. Because the capers are going to bring in a lot of saltiness, and the onion and the garlic will exacerbate that saltiness. You really don't need to add that much salt to this dish. Thickening awesome. A splash. What's up?
Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Not to making sure.
Yeah, I checked when that alarm went off. It turned off, but I could just stitch it together in iMovie, I think. I'm assuming. I have no fucking idea. Yeah, right now it looks more like a mix of flour and water. It doesn't really have that piccata color yet, but that will change. Now that this stuff is cooking and it's pretty stable, I'm going to add in these. You could have sauteed them down before, but I didn't. Your call. This is going to be probably too much sauce, but I wanted the opportunity to maybe put some of it in a container and use it later in the week for something else. I want to leave mine a little bit thick too, because since I'm adding in raw shrimp, since it doesn't take very long for it to cook, you add shrimp raw, chicken you pre-cook. But that adds some more liquid to it as well. I'm just going to go and kill off this liter, or half liter rather. What's up, Pets? Nope. Thank you, Mike. It's very hot over here, okay? Thank you. That is pretty close to incorporated. A little bit of chunky stuff. You also got those big pieces of garlic, but I like that. Alright, before you add a lemon to anything in a recipe, you probably already know this, but take it and roll it around on the counter. Kind of breaks up the bonds between all the sections, and you can juice more liquid out of it. Add in minced garlic powder because I like it. I'm out of onion powder right now, so I don't like that. Add in fresh basil, so I don't need to add in any dried, even though if I have any. And I'm putting in some oregano as well. Don't ask me for quantities on this shit, dude. Just shake it and have fun. Because Barb got you that paprika. Add a little bit of that in there. No gods, no masters on a stovetop, man.
Oh, it smells good.
Thank you, babe. It's probably the paprika. That shit just livened up so did the oregano. Alright. Starting to stick a little bit. You see you're just leaving a little bit of a track of a pan. Like you can see the pan through just track by track. So even with a whole ass pint of like liquid or water added in, you're still thickening well with 4 tablespoons of butter, 5 tablespoons flour. For if it's just for you and Kyle, 2 tablespoons of each should work. That's what I did for me and Tamara the other night, but I was feeling saucy about it. All right, hold on. I already put my cutting board in the sink, so just gonna open it and work it. All right, cool. If seeds get in there, that's whatever. You guys are grown-ups. You can work your way around seeds. Squeeze in your half. Peel off the sticker, so nobody wants to eat that. Go ahead and just drop that rind and all right in there when you're done. Just for a little bit. And get a little bit of that rind in there too. If you have a zester and you feel fancy, you can zest some of the rind in there, but I don't own a zester. Just don't care. Tamara tried to clean bubble gum off of her shoe with my zester, and it broke forever. That's not a true story? Alright, now you see it's starting to bubble up. We're getting it up to boiling now. We're still on that low heat. If it was too liquidy, you could crank it up to like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, that's on you. Alright, now I'm gonna add yeah, I'll go ahead and add the capers first, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Don't be stingy with these shits. You know what you're about with the piccata. Not worried about that. God damn, if I had less oil on my hands. One super important thing though, you add your capers. I'm gonna add like 4 forkfuls. Probably could call that 2 tablespoons if you want to be sad about it. But then, using a fork is the best because then you just, put a couple of glugs of brine in there. That's going to be all the salt you need for the dish, and it's going to give it that, more characteristic piccata flavor. Yeah, now it's looking more like a piccata. And if you want to be, bougie like Sarah, Adding in the artichoke hearts will also add brine and more saltiness to it. Don't add salt to this dish like I did the other day. And I'm doing seafood with it too, so you know that like that is even further saltiness if you're adding in shrimp or any kind of, you know, saltwater fish. Yeah, if you're doing it with shrimp, basically just keep it actively turning. It'll cook with shrimp in it in about fucking 5-10 minutes max. Shrimp's internal cooking temp only needs to reach 145 to be food safe, which is insane, but you're gonna get there without even trying anyway, because if this is a boiling, you know, you got no issue. I went with peeled and deveined and tail off because I'm trying to eliminate as much work as possible. I do like doing it this way instead of pre-cooked though, because then as it cooks, it does soak up the sauce more. It's a better return for this, non-effort of to thaw your shrimp. Best practice is to put it in a colander and run cold water over it. That's all the work you had to do. That's different from just doing the sauce for chicken or for anything else. Less steps, shrimp's on sale pretty often. Eat some sea bugs. Kyle likes them anyway. Oh, if you want to make it spicy, I can't because Hadley's here. This is the one to get. Slap Your Mama. This is the hot blend one, but they also make a traditional, like, less spicy one, but the flavor is freaking amazing. I'm gonna leave that out actually for my own sandwich bowls. I'm gonna clean this shit up while it simmers. 2 seconds. That's pretty much it, dude. You're just gonna cook until the shrimp is cooked. And then you've got your strained and already rinsed pasta. Just plop that right in here if you want the pasta to soak it all in. I did our pasta like 1 second short of al dente and then rinsed it so the cooking process would stop. Then when I drop it back in here, whenever it livens back up and tries to soften, it's gonna suck up more of the piccata sauce. Yeah. I went really unconventional last week when I did this. I did it with elbow pasta instead. I just wanted to have piccata all up in those pasta tubes. Yeah, you can see the shrimp is already almost done. We got like probably like 1.5 minutes max left on the shrimp. That might even be overdoing it, but on the plus side, cooking it this way, overcooking it's not going to turn it super hard. It's just going to absorb more of the sauce. All right, that's what I got, dude. Hopefully it was coherent and it was recording properly. If not, I'll delete this and you'll never see it. Okay, bye.